Let's go now to NewsNation's Joe Khalil, live from Capitol Hill. Joe, it is very rare to get a report like this after a lawmaker leaves Congress. And Gaetz isn't up for a cabinet position anymore. He's just a regular old Joe. He was never charged with anything. Why is the committee doing this, and why now?
You know, it's a good question, Elizabeth. It's our sense that the anomaly was really the first go-round. That we've been talking to people who've said that it was surprising that the House Ethics Committee previously decided not to release it on a 5-5 vote, because there was an expectation that there was at least enough momentum in that committee to let the report go and make it public, and a lot of pressure behind the scenes, even from some Republicans, to do so. Late in the game, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson sort of weighed in and said he thinks it should remain private, and then you had the deadlock in 5-5. So now we have a change, a position in the committee, and now they're saying, let's release the report. We don't know when it's going to be released exactly, but sometime before the end of the year, and likely in the next 2 or 3 days, we should get it. Now, you're right to point out it is not exactly the norm for the House Ethics Committee to be releasing a report about someone who is no longer a member of Congress. However, they got virtually 99% of the way, and then there's just that last percent of actually releasing the report is the only thing they did not get to do. Remember, they had been doing this probe for a better part of 2.5 years, and they were within 48 hours of releasing the culmination of their work when Matt Gaetz ultimately resigned. So as one Republican told me, it's not a good look for someone to be able to resign away a report and wrongdoing, that if they're, ready to go and shine a light on it, transparency should matter. And I've heard that from Republicans, actually, not just Democrats. There was one Republican we talked to today who staunchly defended Matt Gaetz, and that was Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Take a listen to what she told us.
If they're going to be picking and choosing which reports they're releasing, I think that's extremely hypocritical. There's a lot of reports that need to be released. I think we need Jeffrey Epstein's list. How about that? What about P. Diddy and all the people that he was involved with? I think the American people want that list. What about the list of victims who were paid out with American taxpayer dollars because they were victims of sexual harassment or some sort of sex crime by congressmen and senators?
So, Elizabeth, P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, they have nothing to do with Congress. House Ethics Committee wouldn't be looking into them at all. But her last point, though, that there have been payouts from members of Congress that have been swept under the rug for potential wrongdoing. We've heard those kinds of stories, and presumably the Ethics Committee could release details on those things. That, at least that last point, Matt Gaetz has actually threatened to come back into Congress in January. Technically, he was voted in, and try to make a motion to do that. I don't know if he's going to follow through on that, but he has at least made, he's put that out there. So we'll see if he follows up.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.